Hey guys, welcome to your Maxalur Friday and Maxalur Week. I'm very happy to be here. Today I'm going to be talking to you about, we're going to give you 5 areas of tips of how to be efficient as an entrepreneur. This is very important for us. It's brought to you by Maxalur. It's our development program. It's personal and professional development program for physicians. I created that. It's called a Maxalur Mastermind. Just a few years ago, I was wondering why it would be good for me to continue doing what I was doing. These are the choices that we make in medicine. And I was saying why, when I was so happy as a physician entrepreneur. You know, when you have a business and you have this dream, you're going to get your business, you're going to sell it, and you're going to sell it successfully. And that's what many times we do. And I did that. As part of that deal, I remained as an employee. But I discovered that really I'm an entrepreneur at heart. And I really want to be in control of my patient's experience, my personal experience, and I want to still be a physician. So entrepreneurship has helped me a lot, and as physicians we have given away a lot of the control over our lives, and we have many others designing and directing our lives for us. So that's why we've created our physician entrepreneur and development program called Maxalur, so that we can teach that to you. It's a program where you can design your physician life. And I want to tell you, thank you, Kate, for doing #live. I was just going to that point, #live, #replay, if you want to share this with others. And talking about designing your physician life, that's the name of our podcast. And I invite you to listen to more of our episodes. We are 6 months into our podcast. We're very excited. And just the last episode, we had the wonderful Dr. David Rosenblum. And Dr. David Rosenblum, he's the creator of painexam.com, which is basically a series of questions that help physicians get ready for their pain exams. I've been living most of my life as interventional pain physician. He's one of us who created that during his downtime. Hi, Lynn. Welcome. I'm glad that you're here today. We're talking about some tips for efficiencies for physicians. So if you have any, actually, Lynn, if you have any tips of how to be efficient as a physician entrepreneur, let us know. Dr. David Rosenblum, he talked about this in our podcast on Tuesday, Design Your Physician Life. And being efficient for him is what took him to success. It took him to lead and create his business. He has this series. It's not only one for pain exam. He has other types of it. Yes, I'm glad that you like it. He has other types of businesses around the same concept, and he has also developed a podcast, and it's all because he was efficient. So we're going to be talking more about that. That was on Tuesday. Then on Wednesday, we reflected about these tips, and we told you to share the ones, how do you spend your time creating your business for your entrepreneurship endeavors. And then yesterday, we also asked you, what are you excited about? Is there some concept that you want to advance or work on that concept to advance and maybe create from an idea to reality? And one of the things that I was burnt out more than once. I was burnt out twice, and I discovered through entrepreneurship that it's allowing me to be able to thrive, to present as a better person, not only to myself, to my patients, to my employees, to my friends, my family. And if you see around, look around at your hospital, look around in the offices, you'll see that many physicians were still working, because at heart we're physicians, really. And we want to care for our patients, but we want to be able in control of our lives. We want to be able to show up and decide how we want to practice for those patients. You'll see that many of them have entrepreneurship in their lives, and they have found it either through real estate, many of them through other side gigs. And we are able to teach those concepts to you. So let's start with the first tip. Hey, Maddie, how are you? Welcome to our Maxalur Fridays here. We're talking about entrepreneurship. We are about to give our first tip about efficiency. So the first one that Dr. David Rosenblum talked to us in our podcast on Tuesday. And actually, I want to invite you, listen to that podcast after you're done here. Go and listen to the podcast so that you can listen to the story. Is what do you do with your downtime? So in his story, I'll tell you part of it. He's in New Jersey, New York, and his commute is very long. And he's not the one who has taken advantage of the time in this way. During the period of time that he would take him to go in the mornings from work, from his house to work, he designed all these questions. Or when he was waiting in between patients, he was working as an anesthesiologist and he was going to take his board, he started writing all these questions for the boards. And that's how he created the pain exam. And now he teaches those questions as reviews to others. And he did not only stay there on pain management, he has expanded to PMR and to other specialties. Besides that, in the morning, since he would arrive so early, because he had to go early, otherwise it's too late when he comes there, he then designed his podcast. So his podcast, I have been a guest, and for you to be a guest in his podcast, you have to be at 6:30 in the morning. And that's the way that he's been making it successful. So why do you do these things? Well, you're going to say, you know what? During that time, I could be reading, doing music, and that's okay. We want to have a balance in our lives. However, when you're doing an entrepreneurship, a pathway, you want to be able to use your time the most efficiently, so that then eventually you can be with your family more time and have fun. And you have to do these things. You can decide what to do this alone or with others. Other people have, for example, in their commute, they have taken classes. In my case, for me, downtime is really that I have time to read my books because I listen to ebooks. And I love doing that, and that's part of entrepreneurship. So to be efficient, you have to take these pockets of time and then decide what you're gonna do with them. At times, I have to tell you, I have to confess, I will just go directly to the TV. We have a TV here. This is our clinic that we have. We're so excited. This is Saha Vida Institute in Sarasota, Florida, that we just created for patients. And I'll go to the TV, and then that's what I want. That's what my mind wants. But if you want to be efficient, to be able to do your work, you have to get these pockets of time and get them to use. And that's what he did. The next tip I have is tip number 2, is stay within your zone of genius. And what's your zone of genius? Is those things that are the easiest for you to do, okay? In my case, I have to confess, I have some things that they have never been easy for me, and my mom can tell you that I broke many plates when I was washing the dishes. And it's just something that I really have never enjoyed doing. I might do some other chores around the house, but I prefer that somebody does that, right? So at work, I really want to concentrate in creating ideas, in developing ideas, in making sure that the financials are okay, that my patients are ready, that I have the services that they need, that my teams are good. So I'll be staying in that zone. If there's anything I can delegate, I will do that, and that will make me more efficient. So I have VAs, for example, here in this call, we have a couple of VAs, like Kate, she's here with us, and she helps us with the social media. So I love to post, but it's very difficult for me to share all the information that I want with you all the time, so I will have somebody else to help me. The other things, I love to communicate, I love to create connections, I love to have people in my podcast, but I cannot be scheduling them all the time. So then I have another VA that helps us with that. And then I would love to learn how to process a podcast, but that's not where my strength will be. So then I have somebody else helping, our manager, my husband Tomas, he will help us doing that. So we have different areas that, even though I could spend time and learn all these things, I really try to look for the experts. Another way, something that has been very successful for us, and I'll tell you, I can do a business plan, I know how to do a business plan, but I got coaching for that, for our business plan, to create this place that we have. And it's not that I cannot do that, but it's not necessarily the easiest or the best. So our zone of genius is where my easiest things, your easiest activities will be. So we did that, and I have to tell you, this is an announcement. We've been asked, actually, because we were with this particular program through the Small Business Administration. They have asked us to do a video for them, explain to them that process as an example, because we were so successful. Thanks to the collaboration. You have to recognize where your strengths are, and where they're not that you cannot learn. As physicians, we learn so many things, but the truth is that it's going to take me so much time, and I want to make it easier and quicker and more effective. You get a team, and then I am able to stay in the zone where I am and recognize where my weaknesses are, and then have people help me with that. So that's tip number 2. Tip number 1, how you're going to use your downtime. Tip number 2, your zone of genius. Let's go to the tip number 3, which is developing systems. And one of the things is that I love is this concept of touch things once. And we've had some guests who are coaches in our mastermind. There's Dr. Heather Hammerstead and Dr. Diana Mercado Marmarosh. They talk about these things. And I loved the thing that I remember the most from Dr. Mercado Marmarosh is that she talks to you about the simplicity. Go at home and just, you go crazy, you wash the dishes, talking about washing dishes again, right? And then suddenly, like you're, naming a brand to your Tupperware, like there's the bowl and where's the lid? Like, where are they? Like, and then you put them and then they disappear. Or the same thing with your socks, right? I don't know what happens. There's a sock monster or something that eats socks. So what you can do is that once you do the dishes, and you're gonna put them away, always put your bowls with your lids, right? Or always put your socks together. What does this have to do anything with anything of entrepreneurship? Well, touching things once. Once you get whatever it is, your piece of mail that you get, that account that you have to put, whatever papers you get, whatever you have to do, just touch things once and develop processes where people are doing that, and then it's getting out of the way. Otherwise, you get these piles that accumulate. And that's why you need help to help you with those so that they can be processed many times. And that's why you have to develop the process. So that's the tip number 3 is developing systems and touching things once. Number 4, and I made some notes because that's part of my efficiency things that I don't have to be thinking so much about it here. Number 4 is habits, right? You have to develop habits, and it does take around 12 weeks for you to be able to develop habits. And in my case, for example, and Dr. Rosenblum's case, like everything that he did during this period of time. So it wasn't only about using the downtime. It was that downtime was going to always be for a specific task, right? So once he was done with that specific task, he would move to the next one. So the habits is where you're doing things regularly so that it sticks to you, and then you're able to be more efficient. And then number 5, our last one is, stay on task, just avoid interruptions and avoid multitasking. Now you're gonna say, oh, but you're such great multitaskers, as a woman I am, or as a physician I am, or as a person I am, such a great multitaskers. But if you really try to avoid interruptions and stay on task, like you have that time designed for that particular task, that's gonna be better. For example, let's take social media, right? Like we do social media, so we want to be able to do many things, and we have answers during the whole day, and you want to answer to people all day long. But if we're always on social media, like I go from social media to my email, to my patient, to my task, to my IV, really, I'm gonna be starting and stopping many things at the same time. So avoiding interruptions and staying on task are gonna be more efficient for you if you do these blocks. Okay, so let's recap. Number 1 is using the best time of our downtime, right, for our business. Number 2, stay within your zone of genius. Number 3, develop systems. Number 4, develop habits. And number 5, stay on task and avoid interruptions. So guys, those have been our tips. If you have any questions, just reach out to us. We're in LinkedIn, Facebook. We are here available to you through our webpage, maxallure.com, MAXALLURE. Our podcast is Design Your Physician Life. If there's any topics that you want to hear about, we're going to go ahead and bring them to you. We have successful physicians helping us, giving us tips, stories, and that's it for today. Remember, #live, #replay. Hi, Beatriz, welcome here. Hi, Rosita. It's Rosita's birthday today. We should sing her happy birthday. I'm not gonna sing live here, but Rosita, happy birthday. We love you. Besitos to you. And go and visit us. Have a great weekend. Stay safe. And I'll see you next week with more of your Max Allure Mastermind. See you then. Bye.